Vietnam Veterans Day draws veterans and their families from across the state.
Even through the rain, a horse show still manages to kick off.
And an update from the Korean Peninsula as tensions continue to climb. KOMU 8 News at 9 starts now.
Live from Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Vietnam veterans and their families gathered across the state to mark Missourians' first ever Vietnam Veterans Day. Good evening, I'm Nick Brennan.
And I'm Garrett Bergquist. Thanks for joining us. State law signed last summer designates every March 30th as a day of remembrance for those who fought in the Vietnam War. Today's ceremonies come a day after a national day of remembrance for those who fought in the Vietnam War. Missouri lawmakers sent a supplemental budget to Governor Jay Nixon this week for the current fiscal year. The budget includes a $14 million increase to a fund to reimburse schools for costs of special education. The High Needs Fund pays schools for students that cost more than 3 times the amount of a typical student in the same district. The fund typically increases 10% each year. This year, the fund will increase 18%. Police are investigating after a man's body was found in a suburban Kansas City creek bed. According to the Kansas City Star, authorities identified the man as 39-year-old Ronnie Trent of Kansas City. Raytown police say the cause of death is unknown.
The environment and the economy could be on a bit of collision course tonight with the Obama administration's new proposal for tighter emissions limits for cars that could raise the price of gas.
NBC's Stephanie Gosk has the story. AAA won't say for sure whether gas prices have peaked for the spring, but they predict that when they do, the peak will be lower than it has been in recent years, a silver lining for drivers heading out for the holiday.
He's familiar with fighting the tough battles in life.
How one world-famous leader is now fighting the battle to stay alive.
Saturday and Sunday.
Sounds good.
Sounds like spring is finally here.
Finally, hopefully.
Took long enough.
Right.
Thanks, Tori.
Thanks.
Right.
Tensions rise on the Korean Peninsula.
Why some still believe the North is all bark and no bite. Welcome back. North Korea says it has entered a state of war with South Korea, even though the divided Korean peninsula has technically been in a state of war for decades. North Korea has made threats against South Korea and the United States amid ongoing joint military exercises.
And this week, 2 American B-2 bombers flew a practice run over the region in a show of force. NBC's Ian Williams has more from South Korea's capital. Welcome back. Students at McAllister College in Minnesota took part in what is becoming an annual event. Art inspired by a popular Easter treat. The entries into the 5th annual Peeps Show diorama contest can get pretty creative. From a Peeps pirate attack to all 9 circles of Dante's Peepferno. One entry was a Peep catapult, allowing people to launch the little marshmallow birds at a wall target. The school's academic departments took part in the contest, making classical or historical dioramas using the sweet Easter treats.
Now here's a look at what we're following on KOMU 8 News at 10.
Sifting through the remains, how New York City is restarting a crucial September 11th search. And make sure to stay with KOMU.com for all your latest weather coverage. Now here's Tori with a recap of your weather.